The search for a missing submersible in the North Atlantic Ocean has ended in the worst-case scenario. The U.S. Coast Guard said last hour that search vehicles found debris from the Titan on the ocean floor near the wreck of the Titanic, and the 5 people that were on board are presumed dead.
This morning, an ROV, or remote-operated vehicle, from the vessel Horizon Arctic discovered the tail cone of the Titan submersible approximately 1,600 feet from the bow of the Titanic on the seafloor. The ROV subsequently found additional debris. In consultation with experts from within the Unified Command, the debris is consistent with the catastrophic loss of the pressure chamber. Upon this determination, we immediately notified the families.
The CBC's Chris Reyes was at that news conference in Boston. She joins us now. So, Chris, what details did officials provide about the discovery of that debris field?
You know, Hillary, from the moment that those officials stepped into that press conference, it was a somber tone. I mean, just in comparison, yesterday's press conference was all about hope, and certainly that was not the case today. You know, in addition to Vice Admiral Paul Mauger, there was also an undersea expert that they brought on who talked more in detail about this debris field that they found that was consistent with the pieces of the Titan. Have a listen to what he said.
The initial thing we found was the nose cone, which was outside of the pressure hull. We then found a large debris field. Within that large debris field, we found the front end bell of the pressure hull. That was the first indication that there was a catastrophic event.
And Hillary, Paul Hankin went on to say that they found 5 pieces of debris that told them that this was the remains of the Titan. And in addition to that large field, they found a smaller field, the other end of the pressure hull, the end valve. And just as a reminder, the Titan, this vessel, was the size of a minivan, essentially, at 7 meters in length, 3 meters wide, 2.5 meters in height. And according to Hankin, the debris they found was consistent with the totality of this vessel. And, you know, there's going to be a lot of conversation in the days ahead about what this vessel was made out of, Hillary, because it was made out of titanium and carbon fiber, which is not the industry standard. Most submersibles that go down to the depth of the ocean at that level, at about 4,000 meters, they're usually made up entirely of titanium because it's that material that can withstand the crushing pressure at that depth.
Chris, what happens now?
Well, that question was certainly asked, including the very delicate question about the recovery of the bodies. Let's just mention again the 5 passengers on board. Hamish Harding, who's a British businessman, Shahzada Dawood and his son Suleiman. They are from one of the wealthiest families in Pakistan. Paul-Henri Nargeolet, who's considered the Titanic's greatest explorer, and of course the CEO and founder of OceanGate, the owner of the vessel Stockton Rush. And so we asked a question about what happens with the recovery of the bodies, and the officials just didn't want to go into detail about that. They would only tell us that currently there are 9 vessels at the search site. We know this fleet includes Canadian ships as well that they've been assisting since the beginning of this search. That fleet, they'll begin to demobilize over the next 24 hours, and then there are still those ROVs, the remote operated underwater vehicles that are searching the ocean floor. So they'll continue their search, will continue to map out the debris field, and there's no timeline yet on when those vehicles will be called back.
Chris, thank you for this. We appreciate the update. The CBC's Chris Reyes for us there in Boston.